Oil production. The Permian Basin produces 2/3 of Texas's crude oil, which also represents 17% of U.S. current oil production. We live in an area booming because of the oil field. Everywhere we look, we see oil-related trucks, businesses, and workers. When we drive, all we see are pumping jacks going up and down. At night, we can see many rigs that are lit up by hundreds of lights. But what are they doing? And how do they produce all that oil? I am a petroleum engineer student that has grown up in West Texas with many oil field working family members, and I will be speaking about the process of extracting hydrocarbons. Although the process is very detailed and different depending on lithology and location, it can be summed up into 3 steps, which are drilling, completions, and production. The first phase, drilling, is how we reach the oil-saturated reservoir. During the drilling, different logs are ran to find the hydrocarbons and to decide if it will be economically fit to extract the oil. Energy Capital Group shows us the first step is setting up the rig, which is composed of different systems, like the electricity, the housing, and different pumps. Then the drilling begins. Large heavy pipes are connected to a special drill bit that give it the weight to drill. This weight helps it tear through the rocks and different minerals that it has to go through to reach the reservoir. A special drilling mud is also being injected. The U.S. Department of Labor shows us that the special mud has different purposes. The mud cools and lubricates the bit, holds the pressure, and takes the cuttings up to the surface, all while forming a mud cake on the wall. Everything is done with precision, and different engineers are on watch to have everything in control. Then finally, the oil-filled reservoir is reached and our next phase starts. Rig Zone explains that there are 5 steps to the completion phase. The steps are casing, cementing, perforating if necessary, gravel packing, and installing a production tree. Casing is the process by which large pipes are put in the borehole so that it doesn't close in on itself. It also helps protect the well stream from outside incumbents like water or sand. Cement is then pumped between the casing and the well wall to keep the casing in place and to seal the well stream. If the casing is ran into the reservoir, perforation is needed. It is done by shooting holes in the casing that allow the hydrocarbons to enter the well stream. Filtering the well stream is very important, which is why gravel packing is done to filter out the sand that would have entered the well stream. The last step in the completions phase is to install a production tree that provides surface control for the pressure in the well. The last phase is the production itself. The production is based on the pressure in the reservoir. Some wells have so much pressure that the hydrocarbons flow out naturally. On other occasions, the pressure is only enough to hold the hydrocarbons together, so using a pumping unit or running a downhole pump is necessary. Whichever the case, tubing is ran inside the casing that acts as the well stream for the oil to flow through. This tubing is set in place by different packers that make it sit still while the oil is running up the pump. The pumping unit creates a suction that draws the oil up, or the downhole pump runs the oil up the tubing. These are the phases of oil extracting. Of course, we could go into further details, but this is a summarized explanation of what is going on around us. Now we will understand what many of those oil fields workers do and how the oil is produced.